the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Tori Taylor, and I'm joined today by Lester Moon, who is the founder and executive director of Hands in the Community. Lester, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you, Tori.
Lester, I'd like to ask if you could please start by just telling us about your organization and what you do.
Hands in the Community is a nonprofit 501c3 that was established to provide volunteers that will go out into the community to meet whatever needs are being asked of us. We have almost 1,000 volunteers: doctors, dentists, plumbers, carpenters, mechanics, home health care nurses. You name it. We basically have all types of people. We also have people who go out and do projects and things like that.
And volunteering at events, volunteering at for specific needs, how does that work?
Oh, very specific needs. Like, for instance, this morning we had an electrician who was fixing some wiring on a fan for a widow. We had a group that went out last weekend to do some scraping, priming, and painting of a house. We have a couple that just called us, their car is not working and they need a mechanic. So, I mean, that's just a few of the examples. It's not events, it's actually people who have needs. They have houses or cars and things are not working.
And normally you would call an electrician.
Normally we would call an electrician?
No, like, you know,
if I had a problem
yeah.
at my home, yeah, I would call an electrician. But unfortunately, most of the people who are calling us do not have the finances. They don't have the wherewithal to do that. And we have volunteers who've already signed up ahead of schedule to meet particular needs, and then we screen the process, do the screening process.
That's fantastic. So how are these things funded? How is this paid for?
100% donation. We get donations from businesses, organizations, individuals, and churches.
And these people then are able to sort of write that off on their taxes, or how does the arrangement
Yeah, because we're a
work?
501c3, we're a nonprofit, they get a tax deduction for their donation, and in some cases businesses are donating supplies, they get a tax deduction for that. The lady that was having her house painted, she had to have some work done on the house. Wood and the paint were donated by two different businesses down in Visalia. So
that's fantastic. Talk to me then about, so you said 1,000 volunteers?
Almost, yeah.
And are your services available 7 days a week, or how does that work?
Well, I would say they're available most of the time. Our offices are only open Monday through Friday, but we do weekend projects. So if it's not a weekend project, then most likely we have to schedule it during Monday through Friday. They can go out on weekends to fix a faucet or whatever it might be. So I guess in a sense we are open 7 days a week. We're just not open for phone calls on the weekends.
Got it. And I understand you are still looking for a certain type of volunteer.
Yes, although we have a lot of volunteers, we don't have as many in the office as we would like to, because the needs are growing, the calls are coming in, and those are people who just answer phones, talk to people, get information, and then we do a verification process. So in-office volunteers are what we really need the most right now.
And the in-office volunteers would be coordinating both with the businesses and with the people who have needs?
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, and maybe, they're not comfortable in answering the phones and going into great detail with somebody. We need receptionists, people who can just take a name and a phone number, and we have others who can do data inputting, people who can work on computers and create bulletin inserts or flyers and things like that. So there's all kinds of, office support that's needed.
And how long ago did you found the group?
February 14th, 2008.
And it's been on the up and up since?
It's been just growing tremendously. Last year we helped 325 people. If you exclude weekends, other than the projects, that's one person a day we helped last year.
That's fantastic. And plans for the year ahead, what are the goals?
Well, to not only have more needs met, but to get more volunteers to go out and do some of these projects. That we had a project that I worked on just last weekend that ended up, we've had to extend it another week because we didn't have enough volunteers. So we're trying to add more volunteers, and we're also serving all of Tulare County, so it's not just Visalia.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've been chatting with Lester Moon, founder and executive director of Hands in the Community. We'll see you next time on Comcast Newsmakers.